Alright, so welcome back to another review. So, I did a poll and everyone voted to me to review the sequel to Escape from New York called Escape from LA. And I can definitely see a lot of issues of this movie already just watching this movie, you know. I started off watching this movie, I'm like 52 minutes into this film, and it's like already I see a lot of issues already of why a lot of people didn't like the sequel. I see a lot of issues. They reuse shit like they did in the first movie, and it's predictable. The story is just the same shit. He gets like kidnapped like many times in this movie. One of the differences between this movie and New York is that instead of the president getting captured, this movie is about getting a black box back, and they have a different villain in here. This villain is basically a parody of a dictator in real life, some Hispanic dictator or something like that they're based it off of, and he's like the main villain or some shit like that. I forgot what his name was, but yeah. Since Lee Van Cleef and Donald Pleasence has died, they're replaced with, since Lee Van Cleef died, Stacy Keach plays the character. You would like remember him from shit like the Mike Hammer Show or like other shit like American History X. He's in a lot of things, Stacy Keach. But ever since Donald Pleasence died, I think a couple of months before they started shooting the film, I think he was supposed to come back to play the president, but he died a couple of months before shooting, so he got replaced with Cliff Robertson, which you remember him from movies like the Spider-Man films, where he played Uncle Ben. So he plays the president in this movie, and he does a decent job, just like Stacy Keach does a decent job. But what's really crazy about their characters is I'm more of a fan of Lee Van Cleef and Donald Pleasence, but they both died, so that's why they couldn't come back. So yeah, there's that. And we had like new casts in here besides those guys. We also got fucking Pam Grier's in here, Steve Buscemi, he's in here. It's Peter Fonda, Valeria Golino, she's in here. Bruce Campbell's in here. There's a lot of stars in here, just like the first movie, but with less interesting characters like the first movie. I mean, the story could have been great, but they fucked it up. They had like a good villain. I feel like there was like no point of making this movie if you're just going to like repeat the same shit like the first movie. And instead of, you know, Kurt Russell's character fighting a giant fucking dude in a wrestling ring, instead he has to, in this movie, Kurt Russell gets put into a cage and he has 10 seconds on the shot clock to make 10 points and no 3-pointers, and yeah, it's some basketball thing. He gotta make like 10 points and he gets to live or some shit like that. Some different type of thing to do with this movie besides the first one, and like I said, it still feels like it's repeating, even though they're trying to make something different with this movie. Like I said, I feel like this movie should have been like all, you know, mostly like guns blazing. Yes, there is shooting in this movie, but it's not like non-stop guns blazing though. Which that what it should have been like, especially all these fucking bad guys and this main villain you have here. I think it should have been a lot of shooting in this movie, especially the guns that he has in this film, you know. But John Carpenter does his movie differently from everyone else's, so I can understand it. But he shouldn't like repeat the same thing like he did in the first movie, like the whole, you know, timer on him. He got this much time left to find a black box or some shit like that. Just like the first movie, he has a timer on him, and he gotta say the president before he ran out of time or he'll die or some shit like that. It's the same thing. Instead of just, like I said, change it up a bit. Instead of give him a stupid timer and give him like infinite time or some shit like that. And like one of them has the button to, you know, if he doesn't do what they say, they'll hit the button and he'll die. There you go. Fucking easy, isn't it? I want you to just come up with that. I guess it's too fucking difficult, I guess. But instead, he decides to just repeat the same thing. Even though I heard that there are rumors that John Carpenter didn't want to do a sequel, and I heard that was like 100% true or some shit like that. I mean, I can understand. I don't think the Escape from New York needed a sequel. To be fair, I guess one is good enough in my opinion. I think, you know, I don't think you need another one. I mean, it's a good idea, a good concept of making this type of movie for Escape from LA, but this movie was poorly executed. But it was poorly executed because, like I said, John Carpenter didn't really care about making the sequel in the first place. That's the thing. So yeah, that happened, and So this movie, like I said, starts off where, like I said, the whole thing with the whole black box, fucking, once again, like the first movie, Snake gets captured by the government and he gets brought into the place, and this time something different happens. So this black-haired white bitch fucking scratches his fucking hand, and she puts the sickness inside of him because she had in her fingernail or something like that. She scratched it inside of his hand, and now he has like hours left before he dies, but he has to go get the black box so he can live. So he goes in the back of the room just like the first movie, and Stacy Keach and the black-haired bitch talks to him about it with Cliff Robertson. He's the president. President Ben Parker, I meant. So President Ben Parker's there, and they're talking to him about getting the black box bag and showing these holograms of who this bad guy who has the fucking thing. His name is Cuervo Jones or something like that. He's based off some dictator or something like that. I forgot what the dictator's real name is in real life. And the president's daughter, she is a crook herself. She decides she wants to join the gangbangers and stuff like that. And she's not bad looking for an actress. She's pretty sexy, wearing those fucking tight ass shorts and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, she's a bad guy, and Snake tried to kill fucking the president and Stacy Keach and the fucking black-haired bitch. He tried to kill them, but they actually were a hologram, and they're in the other room, so he couldn't kill them. That's another difference between the first movie and this movie. The first movie, he didn't try to kill Lee Van Cleef because Lee Van Cleef is cool, so that's why he didn't kill Lee Van Cleef. Here, he's like, fuck these clowns, I'm gonna try to kill them. And it didn't work because they're a hologram. In the first part, he tried to kill them. The second time, he's about to go down a hole after grabbing his guns and putting on his new fucking gear. Now, in this movie, besides the first movie, he actually has like a long coat jacket and leather pants. Long leather coat jacket and long leather pants. So now you got a new cool style. I like his style he have in this movie, but it's not good enough to save this film. So he's about to go down the fucking sewer, and fucking Stacy Keach and the black-haired bitch is talking to him. He's trying to kill him, and this time that didn't work once again because Stacy Keach put blanks in the first clip. So yeah, even though he could have just took out another clip and just put it in and just killed him, but there's guys down there with guns pointing at him, so he couldn't do that. So he gets into the submarine, he drives really fast, and tells him don't go too fast, and he calls Steve Keach a dickhead, which I thought was funny. And he goes into place, and he ends up chasing down fucking Cuervo, the dictator dude, whatever you want to call him. He steals two guys' motorcycle and chases after him on that fucking Cuervo Jones on this fucking one of those cars. Well, before that, he went into this fucking this mansion, and these guys were like throwing fucking knives to his dead body attached to the wall or something like that. This dead dude, and fucking this guy wanted fucking Snake to do it too, but Snake didn't want to do that bullshit, and the guy got pissed off, and he was asking where the fucking Cuervo's at. The guy's being an asshole. Snake walks away from him, and he goes upstairs, and he asks somebody else, and he points out where the person's at, and this guy wants to start some trouble, the bald guy with the knives, and he tries to knife at Snake. Snake shoots a guy, kills him. I thought it was an interesting scene. I didn't mind that scene in the mansion. I didn't mind that scene. Then, like I said, next thing you know, he's after Cuervo. Snake's on the motorcycle, chases him down while Cuervo's in the convertible, and fucking Cuervo throws some kind of rope thing around his neck and takes him off the fucking off the bike, and he comes all right off the bike, and these four guys about to kill him, and fucking Snake tricks him. He throws the fucking can up the air. We gotta do that little showdown draw thing. He throws up in the air, he shoots him, he's like, draw. He killed them. That was an interesting scene. I didn't mind those scenes, and then afterwards it started to like lose its interest. After that, well, it lose my interest. After those scenes, it started to lose my interest in the movie because it started to get like really, really like boring and less interesting. those were the best scenes where he's at the mansion, he's chasing down Cuervo in the first scene. I didn't mind those. Then afterwards, he ends up seeing these weird guys in his Grim Reaper outfits or something like that. No. Before that, he was talking to Steve Buscemi. He is this BAP guy, you know, and he is a crook himself also. I mean, everybody in LA is a fucking crook, so yeah, his character's a crook, and he's they call him the Map or something like that, some other bullshit name, but it's definitely called something like the Map or something like that, and he knows where everyone's at. He's basically fucking Ernest Borgnine's character, Cabby. He's basically him, but he's like more of a bad guy than Cabby was. So, Steve Buscemi tried to rip off fucking Snake. Snake walks away from him. Steve Buscemi got pissed off, and Snake walks away, and then this girl tells him to hide in these bushes or something like that. And she's played by Valerina Golino. And I feel like they wasted their character in this movie, which we'll get to that soon. So she tells him to hide, but which he doesn't hide, and this Reaper guy is staring into his soul, and him and Valerie Golino gets captured, which doesn't make sense. Like, how did that Reaper guy know that Valeria Golino is in the bushes? So I feel like they should have her save Snake from those crazy fucking surgery freak people, you know. I feel like she should have came in there and started guns blazing, shoot these weirdos, killing them and shit. And Snake fucking does the same thing to that surgeon guy and shoots that thing into his neck, put him sleepy mode. And I feel like that would have been a better start to this film in that scene right there. But then again, John Carpenter didn't come up with stuff like that because, like I said, he didn't care about making this movie, you know. So that didn't happen. Instead, Kurt Russell and Valerina Golino both get captured, and these weird, freaky surgeon people wants their faces, so they got perfect faces forever or whatnot. Blah 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 blah. Bruce Campbell plays the weird surgeon freak guy, and Kurt Russell's character shoots one of those sleepy things into Bruce Campbell's head, puts him in sleep mode, and while, you know, Bruce Campbell falls asleep, his cutter thing gets Kurt Russell loose and grabs his gun and starts pointing on these freaks, and gets out of there, and so pointing a gun at pointing a gun at Bruce Campbell's head, and tells to let go of Valerina Golino. She gets out, and those two both escape. And I feel like he should kill all of them in there instead of just running away. That would have been a lot more smarter, a lot more better, a lot more badass if he just did that. Kill all these fucking weird freaks in there, because they fucking deserve it, because they're sick bastards. Like I said, there's a lot of things in this movie that should have been done a lot better. But like I said, John Carpenter did not care about making this movie at all. Even though I feel like he should have even did it then. But people kept bugging him, so he decided to just get it over with and just make this fucking movie. You know? Just like with the whole Matrix 4 movie they done, and that person did not really care about making that Matrix 4 movie. He did not care about making that movie. He did not care at all. He just want to get it over with, just like Escape from LA. He just want to get it over with, you know? But like I said, I think my idea would have been better if it was just Snake getting captured by these sick freak Surgeon General people. These sick freak surgeon people. It would have been a lot more interesting story if that happened, and then Valeria Golino's character goes in there and saves him from all these sick freaks, while Kurt Russell shoots a sleeping dart in the guy's head and he cuts him fucking loose, and they get out of there and all the freaks get killed. That would have been a better story. But that didn't happen, so we go with the most boringest shit ever. So the two escaped, and Valeria Golino's talking to Kurt Russell that she's lonely, she have a boyfriend so long or some shit like that. She want to get in a relationship with him. She want to like smash him or something like that. Kurt Russell instead like gives her a gun to like protect herself, and he walks away. And I thought to myself, so I'm guessing Valeria Golino's gonna come back and like help Kurt Russell and shit. No, she comes back seconds later and she dies. I'm like, what the fuck? Already? I was like, I mean, I'm not surprised, but isn't it a little bit too early to be killing her off that quickly like that? I thought to myself, I thought she's gonna be like, you know, live longer in this movie? I know she's gonna get killed off. I know she was gonna get killed off, but shouldn't she be like, you know, live longer into this movie instead of getting killed off that fucking quickly like that? I'm like, what a waste of a fucking character. This character had a lot of potential and you just kill her off, snap, just like that. You just killed her off right away. I'm like, why so fucking early like that? Are you kidding me, John Carpenter? That character had like a lot of fucking potential. You just fucking just snapped her neck like that and just killed her off. Like, that was like too fucking early. I actually really like that character. I'm like, really? She just got into this fucking movie and he just killed her off. Like, I knew she was gonna get killed off, but I know she could kill off right fucking away. And even if John Carpenter killed her off later on in the film, I still would have thought it'd be fucking stupid also. But it's even more stupider killing her off this fucking early like this. She should have been alive throughout this whole fucking movie and then she leaves later on. But then again, this is John Carpenter's movie. It's not anyone else's movie. This is John Carpenter's story. So yeah, you just gotta deal with the fucking shitty movie. Yeah, a bunch of these Chinese guys like shoot her or some shit like that out of the blue, and she gets shot and killed by like one bullet, and she just dies. Stupidest shit ever. Wasted potential on that character. Wasted potential. Major wasted potential. So after that, fucking she gets killed. Snake gets out of there. He jumps in the car with fucking Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi's character is like bipolar because there's times where he's on Snake's side, he's not on Snake's side, he's on Snake's side, he's not on Snake's side. He's on Cuervo's side, he's on Snake's side, he's on Cuervo's side, he's on Snake's side. Like, he's like bipolar as fuck. He's like, he doesn't know whose side he wants to be on. That's what his character's like. His character is just awful. I like Cabby better because Cabby know how to choose which side he wants to be on. Cabby wasn't like a fucking asshole, like fucking douchebag Steve Buscemi's character was. Steve Buscemi's character, like I said, he was a fucking cocksucker. A fucking chode smoker also. So, yeah, Steve Buscemi puts fucking Solid Snake, I call him, you know, he is Solid Snake. Fuck it, he is Solid Snake. He puts Solid Snake to sleep, and he brings it to Cuervo's place. Now he's captured. Cuervo has fucking Snake on a fucking tied to a treadmill doing treadmill walks. Well, Cuervo talks to the president on the screen about this and that bullshit, that he'll blow up the planet or something. I don't care what he said. The next thing you know, once again, just like the fucking first movie, but it's something different. Instead of, you know, Kurt Russell fighting a giant fucking dude in a wrestling match in a boxing ring, he has to make 10 points in a basketball game by himself with only 10 seconds left on the shot clock, and he had to do it before it's too late or he gets shot and killed like that one guy they showed. So he does it after making the really long shot to make the 2-point shot, and he made up to 10 points, and he wins, but he still doesn't live because Cuervo's an asshole. He tried to shoot him with a sniper gun, but he missed, and earthquakes start happening again. And the president's daughter is with Cuervo because she likes to hang out with bad dudes. You know, she's pretty attractive in this movie also, besides Valeria Golino. And she looks pretty good in those fucking short shorts, I'll tell you that. It's pretty tight. But anyways, so, what else happened in this movie? So he gets out of there. I forgot where he goes. What the fuck happens? Something about, he goes into this fucking, sewer or some shit like that, and he like escapes or something, and the president's daughter follows him where he was going at with Steve Buscemi. They're down in the sewer, and she's like talking to him and shit that she don't want to be with Cuervo anymore. She wants to get out of there and shit, and she don't want to die by, you know, her dad or some shit like that. And even Kurt Russell's character doesn't want to kill her because, you know, well, why do you want to kill some chicks for? Fuck that shit. I want to kill some ladies. Unless she's like a real bitch and she deserves to die, then I can understand. But the chicks in this movie is not really like real fucking assholes. I mean, that fucking black-haired chick that works for the government is like a real bitch, but yeah, she can fucking die though. I don't really care about that bitch. So Steve Buscemi's in the sewer also. He shoots Kurt Russell in the leg. Kurt Russell falls in the hole of the sewer. And he took the black box, and they go back up to Cuervo. He gives Cuervo the fucking black box, and Cuervo still wants where Kurt Russell's at. He wants to see him actually dead. and he wants to see the truth about it. And Steve Buscemi decides to go look for him, and Kurt Russell meets Peter Fonda's character once again. The reason why I don't really mention Peter Fonda in this movie, the reason I don't mention his character, because his character is pretty useless. He's only in this movie for like 2 scenes, and like that one scene where Kurt Russell shows up to the shore, he talks to him there, and in the second part he starts surfing with Kurt Russell and tell him about this person named Hershey, and you gotta go see Hershey, which is played by Pam Grier. We're gonna get to that character soon. We're gonna get to that one. So him and fucking Peter Fonda went surfing together because a tsunami was coming. So they started surfing, which I thought was like an okay scene. I thought it was like an alright scene. I didn't mind it. But like I said, Peter Fonda's character is pretty useless. He doesn't really do anything in this movie. He's only like in 2 scenes, and he's like a pretty useless character. Man, they could have utilized his character more, just like Valeria Golino's character, which she should have been more utilized more than him. But like I said, they killed her off like right away because, oh, we got better characters in this movie, I guess. So well, Kurt Russell was surfing. He sees Steve Buscemi in the convertible. He jumps on top of Steve Buscemi's convertible. He gets in the car, pointing a gun at Steve Buscemi, and tells Steve Buscemi to take him to Hershey. So he decides to take him to Hershey, and he tells fucking Kurt Russell, he's like, look, man, I'm done with Cuervo. I'm done with that guy. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. The thing is, I feel like Kurt Russell should have just killed him right in that car and just took his car and drove to Hershey. Because Steve Buscemi's character, he just likes to backstab people, and I feel like Kurt Russell should have just killed him off right then and there, or killed him off at She-Ra's or Hershey's place, or whatever the hell you want to call it. He should have just killed him off right then and there, and that's it. That'd be the end of his fucking character. But somehow we still continue with that character later on in the film, and he keeps backstabbing people and shit. I'm like, somehow he just lives throughout this whole movie. He just lives. Spoilers, he lives throughout this whole movie. He doesn't even die at all. He doesn't even die. But somehow Valeria Golino's character dies though. But whatever. I'm not fucking John Carpenter, so whatever. So he goes to fucking Hershey's place, and Hershey's played by Pam Grier. And so here's the kick about this character. Here's the kick. Pam Grier is playing a dude, and guess what? It's a tranny, because Hershey, get it? Hershey. So Hershey is basically Carjack Malone, or what the hell the name is. Something Carjack Malone, and Carjack Malone used to be a dude, but now Carjack Malone is Hershey, so it's basically a tranny type of character. I guess John Carpenter's into trannies, I guess. And it's just like the first movie. Remember Harry Dean Stanton's character? And remember where Kurt Russell comes in the building, he's like, hey, I remember you. I remember you're that same guy. I remembered. And he had like a different name. Same thing like this movie. Kurt Russell's character comes in the room, and he was like, Carjack Malone, is that you? I thought that was you. It's the same like the fucking first movie. It's the same shit. So, same thing like the first movie. Kurt Russell threatens Hershey to help him out, find where Cuervo is, so he can get the black box. So, he decides to help him out and do the same thing again like the fucking first movie. So, they go on this weird thing, and they fly there or something like that on this fucking wing thing. This bird wing thing, and they just fly there. And they go right there, and fucking Steve Buscemi bullshits Cuervo. Cuervo about to shoot him in the head, and then the big explosion happens, the big shootout happens, and it's not really a great shootout. It's one of the worst shootouts I've ever seen. Not really an interesting shootout. And this time, instead of the last movie where, you know, Kurt Russell and Isaac Hayes doesn't really fight that much in that movie, this movie, he actually fights the main villain. They start throwing punches at each other and shit. And that's about it. He doesn't really kill him, but just like the fucking first movie, remember when Donald Pleasance killed Isaac Hayes? Steve Buscemi kills Cuervo. Instead of the president killing the main villain, it's actually one of his men killing the main villain. So they changed that a bit, but it's still almost like the same shit. After Kurt Russell beats up Cuervo, he takes a black box, he gets into the bulletproof helicopter with Pam Grier and her goons, and fucking Steve Buscemi's bipolar ass doesn't know what side to be on, because he's fucking a backstabber, double backstabber and shit. Somehow he's still alive. He gets in the helicopter with the president's daughter. She gets in there also, Utopia. She gets in there, and they're about to fly off, but some asshole attached the helicopter to the car with a rope. Pam Grier shoots it off, and then they want to fly off, and the helicopter takes like forever to fly off. It's like slow as a fucking turtle to fly off for some fucking reason. And fucking Cuervo decides to shoot an RPG rocket launcher at the helicopter. Steve Buscemi shoots him, and he's like, I shot him. And he was still alright for right now, Cuervo. He still shoots the RPG at the helicopter. Steve Buscemi jumps off, and the helicopter doesn't blow up, but it sends a lot of fire and killing Pam Grier and her goons. Wow, that's the way you kill off characters, huh? But the president's daughter and Kurt Russell is still fine. Like, the helicopter was to blow up, and they go back to the White House, or wherever the hell he's going back to, the government, whatever the hell. He tells the president's daughter to jump off and hide. She jumps off and she goes hide somewhere, and the plane blows up. Kurt Russell's still fine. He has a black box. He gives it to Cliff Robertson, and Cliff Robertson, being an asshole, is like, this is not the right thing or whatever, and they bullshit him about the whole, antidote thing. Doesn't really need an antidote. He put like a fake thing into him, so they just bullshit him. Still the same shit almost, because the first movie they actually did put stuff in him, but this movie they just bullshit him. But still, it's like, I wish they stopped with the whole time bullshit, whole time limit bullshit. Like, that shit's like old. They should do something totally different with this movie, with that whole thing. So, yeah, but something different happens with this ending. Not like the first movie. This time is a lot more different. So they still find the president's daughter. Somehow they still got her for some fucking reason. I guess she didn't hide good enough. Somehow they still found her. Still found her sexy ass. And Cliff Robinson still wants her dead because his character's an asshole. Like, I actually like Donald Pleasance and Lee Van Cleef's character more because they were likable assholes. They weren't like douchebag assholes like Cliff Robinson's and Stacy Keach's character. Like, their characters like real fucking assholes. They're not likable at all. They're not likable. Lee Van Cleef and Donald Pleasance was likable. They're likable assholes. These guys are not. They're not. They're fucking total douchebags. So they decide, fucking Cliff Robinson decides to still kill her daughter because what she did and whatnot. Decided to put her in the chair, and he was talking. Cliff Robinson was talking on the intercom, but Kurt Russell has the bomb thing, so he can detonate it and shut the whole world off, so he can save the girl and whatnot, And they try to shoot him, but he was a hologram, just like they did to him. So he's a hologram, and he hits the button, he shuts the planet Earth off, and the chick's alive. She lives. I was like, finally, a chick actually lives in these movies now. Finally. So she lives, and the movie ends where Kurt Russell's smoking a cigarette. The end. It was a alright ending, but this movie was a fucking mess regardless. Because, like I said, they fucked up a lot of shit with this movie. Especially Valeria Golino's character. They should have utilized the character a lot better than they did in this fucking movie. They killed her off too fucking quickly. I thought that was fucking retarded. She was a waste of potential. Pam Grier's character was useless. Peter Fonda's character was useless. Steve Buscemi's character is a fucking bipolar, double backstabbing douchebag. I didn't like his character at all. He keeps switching sides over and over again. It's really annoying. He should have been killed off a long time ago. But somehow Valeria Golino's character gets killed off earlier than him. I didn't like Cliff Robinson or Stacy Keach's characters because they're not well-written characters. They're the big douchebags. I didn't like them either. Like I said, this movie could have been done a lot better. A lot better. They had the right villain. But he was done poorly executed, just like the story, just like the characters. And it's just, this movie went nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Escape from New York did it a lot better. Like I said, John Carver did not care about making this movie at all. I don't know why he even did it in the first place. I guess he was throwing a lot of money into his face, and he decided just to get it over and do it, just like with Matrix 4 with one of the Wachowski brothers was like, I'll just do it for the money. I don't really care about writing a story like I did with the first three. I didn't like the second. No. I liked the first and second Matrix movie. It's too boring, the third one. But a lot of people liked it, like all the fucking Matrix movies, like all three of them. But like I said, I don't like the fucking first two Matrix movies. That's about it. But man, this movie could have been done a lot better. It could have been done a lot better. And I feel like maybe Peter Fonda's character should have been a lot more focused on more. Instead of Pam Grier's character, I feel like Peter Fonda should have run that whole gang instead of... Maybe Pam Grier should have been like his like right-hand lady or right-hand man, whatever the hell you want to call it. Instead of, you know... It would have made more sense, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it have made more sense? Or maybe like Valeria Golino ran that fucking gang. Like, it would have made more fucking sense, would it? It definitely would. It would definitely make more sense if Valeria Golino and fucking, like I said, Peter Fonda, Pam Grier run that gang. All three of them, they run that whole entire gang. And it would have been a lot better story if we did it like that. But they didn't. Because this movie, like I said, was poorly executed and had a lot of wasted potential of characters in here. And this movie went absolutely nowhere. And this film was a big clusterfuck. And I just don't like this movie. I'll give this movie like a 4 out of 10. And I'll definitely say this movie's better than Jackass Forever. I'll tell you that right now. It's better than watching a bunch of guys punch each other in the balls multiple times. And I thought any second now Steve-O was going to blow Johnny Knoxville's balls and suck his dick hard. I thought it was going to happen any second now because they did so much with the whole balls and dick getting punched and kicked and slapped. It's just so much balls. Like, why so much parts wasn't hitting the balls, dude? It's like so gay. Like, they couldn't think of something else in that fucking movie. So all that weird shit. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, this definitely better than fucking Jackass Forever. Jackass Forever sucks. It sucks even more than this movie. God, that movie was terrible. Like, I can't believe I watched that shit. And that fucking Poopsie guy, oh, he was the worst. It's like he wanted to fucking be there. Like a part he's trying to kiss the snake and stuff like that, and the snake bits his face. He just runs away like a baby, like a little pussy. Like, why the fuck is he even there? That guy sucks also. Another shitty fucking cast of Jackass. Like, why got these new fucking losers in here? Most of these guys suck they have in here. And they had like too many new people in there. It should have been like 2 new guys. That's about it. Jasper and that other fat fuck, I guess. Rachel is like one of the worst also. But anyways, yeah, Escape from LA. Oh my god. This movie had like a lot of potential of being a really great sequel. But like I said, it was poorly executed. You know, wasted potential character they had in here. They wasted her too early. And it's just, it could have been done a lot better.